What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We're going to talk about the Chesa Kubrow today and why I'm actually liking this one best for me in terms of Kubrows anyway. Again, just a quick note, your companion, whether it be a Kubrow or a Sentinel, even the upcoming Cabrow, is always going to be very specific to your playstyle, to whoever you are. There is no wrong one to choose to use, and there is no wrong one to be your favorite at all, because each one really is so different from each other. And like I said, at least one in the bunch will always play to your style, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about this one again quickly. Everybody knows Rosie. Quick look at the Chesa Kubrows here. So this Kubrow will disarm adversaries and retrieve spoils of the battle, if you will. So there's a couple things that you could do with this in terms of how you play it. Now, I'm gonna come over here and take a look here. And no, there's no gameplay right now. We're just talking. I went 5 Forma. And yes, I probably could go less depending upon how you do it. Of course, you know, if I'd max these mods out, I'd have more point capacity available to use. But the likelihood of me ever actually fully maxing these things out, like the health, the shields, the armor, shelter mods, I mean, they're 10-point mods or whatever you want to call them, 12 points in here. And it'd take way too much time for me to probably ever maximize them. Same thing with the bite and the maul. Slowly I get there, but for me, what I have to do is basically just add in a whole bunch of Forma, so that way I can do this. Now, of course, we know Link health links to the health, 120% more health. Link shields, Link armor. This stuff is all directly related over here to what your Warframe is. So whichever Warframe is running is what you're going to see here. If you're running a Warframe that's got high health, of course your Kubrow is going to have higher health. If you got a Warframe that's got high shield, then your Kubrow is going to have higher shield, so forth and so on. And the same thing with the damage that it does. Now here we've got the bite and the maul, which gives me this 1152 slash damage, a decent critical chance with a really nice critical multiplier in here. Animal Instinct is a must for me, the loot radar and the enemy radar. The pack leader is also a must, so that way if I see that my Kubrow is starting to go down, and let's say I'm not on Oberon, where I can quickly heal him, or her in this case, then I have this, and I can quickly get the lifesteal back from just using the melee for a minute, so we can give her health back. But the most important thing here is your 2 augments, or not your augments, your 2 precepts, and how you do it. Now, if you want your Kubrow, in this case a Chesa, to retrieve, then and you want that to be the most important one, then you'd put that before neutralize. Okay, so you'd pretty much just swap it in there, and this is the first thing that it will go out to do. I found that neutralize comes before retrieve, and it works best this way. Now, the neutralize does a few things. So the Kubrow bites the hands of the enemy, causing them to drop their weapon. So, okay, let's talk about this. Number 1, the Kubrow goes out and slashes and does everything that it's supposed to, bites the enemy, you know, all that good jazz. But think about it. So this Kubrow, and it's completely random, but a lot of times I notice it goes for the big guys. This goes out, bites the enemies. If it doesn't kill the enemies, it disarms the enemies. So it's like having a Loki with you. So now it's going to disarm the enemies, and they're going to walk around with their little pogo stick. Okay? So when you take out when he goes ahead and, you know, gets a bombard and disarms them, that's one less thing you have to worry about. And having the neutralize maxed up, I see that he does it a lot, or she does it a lot in this case. My Kubrow runs around and does that. Now, when there's no real enemies around, or when it's killed the enemy, then it will retrieve. Retrieving now has been fixed to the point where it will retrieve multiple items at once, and it will drop it once it's picked up, you know, a few items. It will drop it near you where you're at. So If you're doing like a defense or something, it's great because it's going to drop it right in front of you. You're going to see it every time. If you're running around a lot, it may not drop it right in front of you. So just be aware of that. So, but for the most part, you'll know when your Kubrow has something and is coming at you. You'll see it, and it'll start running around frantically if it doesn't catch up to you. But I like it with the neutralize first, doing its damage at disarming the enemies, which is a key thing to me, and then going ahead and retrieving after it kills the enemies, or after it finds a lockbox or loot crate or anything like that. It can pick that up. So that's it. That's how I have this thing set up. Eventually, maybe I'll get these all maxed out. Okay, same thing here, maybe. And I know that I've got enough, obviously, format here that when I do max this out, I'll have a whole bunch of extra points. But that's it for me. I mean, that's perfect in terms of setup. It does everything that it needs to do, and she doesn't die even at these levels. So, do you need to go any higher? I mean, not really. Could you? Sure. I mean, if you're gonna go spend 3 or 4 hours in a void mission or something, then you're going to want to go and max this out, but it's not really a major priority. As long as you're paying attention to your Kubrow, and you can go ahead and keep giving the life back if you need to, that type of stuff, you'll be fine. Anyway, comments, questions below. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching as always. See you soon.